Alrighty, there is a plate here that I moved out of the way. This plate right here. And there's a little 4-prong plug on that. See it? Boy, that looks familiar. I'm trying to remember what I ever had that had a plug like that on it. Now, right here it says, somebody's written something on here. It says yellow, orange. You see that? It says yellow, orange, red. I think that's a description of what's what there. Okay, it says yellow running, orange, something. I think that says, looks like it says blue, RT, which I bet is, no, RT. RT and LT, I bet those are right and left turn signals. I bet this is an old trailer plug. It might have been the way they did it back in the old days. I remember plugs like that, but I can't remember what I had a plug like that on. Probably an old CB radio or something is what I'm thinking. Anyway, this thing comes out. You get them wires off. It'll be a lot easier to get out. And then I can see back in the hole. And I can see the back of that light. I don't know if y'all can see the back of that light, but I can see the little screws that hold it in place. If I get them screws out, I can stick it all over here and shine that light like this and see it like that. Okay, so that explains to the nut. Can you see the nuts up there on that top light? That's why that was turning and those weren't coming out. It's because there's a nut up there as well as those nuts on that down there. So if I can turn those nuts there and get those nuts to come loose, I can get that light fixture out of there. You can see, oh, it's good and rusty looking in there, but you know, that'd be a great place to put a whole bunch of Pour 15 is all up in there. Yep, sure would, and that would get me up in where the inside of my hump is, where I've been working on that little thing, that little place on that fender, so I could get up in there and get that fixed. You know, out here, you can see rust, sure you can, and I knew you would be able to. As I take things apart, you'll see a lot of rust. Some of it a little worse than others. Like there's some pretty ugly spots down in there, but a lot of that, if you can keep it from getting any worse, you can get by with. All of this is going to be coming apart, so what I'm afraid of is a lot of these screws the rusty part inside will be so bad that they won't have anything to attach to. That's a problem you can very easily get into with something like this. And you can see an awful lot of, see that there? That's just power. And that's rust that has fallen down from all up in here. Kind of what we have to work with there. But it's also a nice place to get inside of so that you can do something about the rust to keep it from getting any worse. And you know, there's a variety of things I could do. I could paint everything I can get my hands to with Pour 15, and then whatever's left, take that sprayer I got and spray some of that lanolin based oil all inside and everything to try to stop rust everywhere I can. It's kind of a losing battle if you ain't got the money to strip a car down and all, then you're going to be dealing with rust. But I bet I can keep her in good shape for as long as I live. See, now places like that needs a little fixing. I don't know if y'all can see what I'm shooting at, but right in here, there's a rusted out place right in there. That should be fixed. That should be fixed right too. Oh, the joy. I've got my work cut out for me here and there and everywhere. Sure do. All right, let's stop and think for a second.